And we are live. Hi, guys and girls. Gallop Forever 97 here. Welcome to today's live stream where I'll be reviewing Rosa, which is episode 3 of series 11, which obviously centered around the great historical figure Rosa Parks. It obviously sparked the civil rights movement and obviously inspired Martin Luther King as well. I'm joined as ever by the brilliant Adam Mossbit Hoovian.
Hello, guys. How are we all doing this evening?
I hope everyone is doing super well. So we're going to be talking about Rosa and all the aspects of that amazing episode, which I think is fair to say is probably the highlight of Series 11 thus far. It was one of those things which just going on and on, is thinking, damn, this is a stellar episode. So if you've got any thoughts or questions, you want to talk about the episode, please put them in the super chat thing, and we'll be looking at them throughout live stream as we go. Before we get into the episode, though, let's talk about some sort of Doctor Who news. We sort of get sort of one big thing a week, which I like to cover on these live streams. And there is a rumor going around that we will be not getting Series 12 not until 2020. It's just a rumor at this point. Obviously, take this with a pinch of salt. But a lot of people have been sort of talking about this and the potential of it, and I'm sort of in two minds about it. I'll see what Adam thinks first, but what's your opinions to a 2020 air date for Doctor Who and having like the 2019 Doctor Who famine?
I think I'm in one mind about it, and that being, yeah, absolutely sure, because you've got to like go away and create the best content you can. That's really key. And it's pretty much the reason why you don't get series like Rick and Morty every year. They always these kind of programs, particularly if you're doing very complex kind of sci-fi historical pieces, take time to really get it right. So I think, if it takes a year, then that's fine. They've got a momentum going, so I don't feel like you're going to lose anyone if you're coming coming out of Series 11. So I think, and I'm sure there'll be a period. There will be nothing. There'll be, of course, we'll probably get a special, like a Christmas special. Maybe we get something in between that. Maybe they'll do maybe they'll announce the new companion during Wimbledon or whatever have you again, and misspell her name. So, anything could happen. But yeah, I'm totally fine with it. If it means we get the kind of Doctor Who we're getting right now, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's my exact opinions, really. The other mind was obviously what Doctor Who as soon as possible, but it's the quality of this series has been so far has just been really hit the sort of mark and precedent for what future series should be, down to the quality of the filming and the writing, which sort of is the foundation for the great episode. So I would rather have it in 2020, and I've seen a few people tweet saying, it will lose its momentum. Like Adam said, I don't think it will. Like, people love the sort of obviously Doctor Who, and obviously they've been sold with Jodie's Doctor already, and she has a great fan base now. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere. So I think if that was to happen, I'm fine with it, to be honest. Obviously, we'd love to have Doctor Who. They might be secretly working on Series 12 now. I don't think they'll say anything until the new year, maybe after the Christmas episode. Or no, I think we'll know about Christmas time what is happening with Series 12. But yeah, I think fine. If it'll be horrible for Doctor Who content creators like doing YouTube and that, because obviously it's like, what should we do a video on? But as long as Doctor Who's, I'd rather wait 100 years. I mean, honestly, that's ridiculous, but I'd rather wait for a good quality show than something that's sort of rushed. I think the one that series did that recently was Westworld, which I watched a few episodes of, which wasn't very good, but the quality of that was still sort of carried over production wise And I think they waited like a year and a half. Like I remember binge watching the first series of that, and my mate was like, "Oh, yeah, the next series like in your house time." I was like, what? Oh my god! But yeah, so I'm fine with it. So if you've got any thoughts on that, let us know in the comment section below.
Indeed, I think I was going to go back. So I do apologize. I
Yeah,
think
crack on.
I was going to bring some further thoughts. Like I think because we've had it in 2016. We've had the only one Christmas special and a cameo. Yeah, I think we're totally kind of fine with it. We've had like the specials when you have like a couple of specials and all that.
Yeah.
So and when Series 10 did happen, everyone was very happy, and people thought it was one of the best in the revived series. So I guess you can't really argue that. I feel maybe they'll keep the momentum up with maybe some live events, a convention, perhaps like a festival, or something big's ought to happen, even if it's not, within within the fact that Doctor Who is broadcast or something like that. I hope they don't announce another spin-off, because well, I don't know. Maybe,
Who knows?
maybe maybe they'll bring back Torchwood, or maybe they will, maybe they will announce, we'll go to the school from school reunion and have a spin-off there, perhaps. So anything could happen.
Avoid Coal Hill. If those class students are there, we're diving past. Well, they're in big fish. Maybe Jim will start his own spin-off. We don't know, but yeah, I one of my hopes for Series 11 was the sort of like revive of the sort of like Doctor Who merchandise and live events, like which we got with 2010. So that's what I was hoping. So hopefully we'll start seeing that with new figures and hopefully some really cool live events. We had the Doctor Experience, the monsters. Was it Doctor Who Live? The monsters are coming. Was that what
That's
it was called?
right? Yeah.
Which was a really cool sort of musical story show. Where did you go see it, Adam?
I saw it at Wembley.
Wembley. Okay, yeah, I went to the Cardiff one, which was I thought the seats were like pretty basic, but yeah, no, it'd be cool. Like 2010 was sort of like the year for Doctor, like it's sort of like rebirth, and obviously sort of the merchandise did sort of die out the year after, but it was like a great thing to have. So hope that will be continued. So before we go on to the review, let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. Elliot says, hello. I highly doubt that it will start then. They start filming in November. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, it's still quite tight. Because I think they started filming might have been September, October time last year for Series 11. So who knows? Mans Game says, how do you think about the ending music? Well, we'll talk about that near the end of the review, as he's referring to the end titles. Dean Jones, hi Dean. Would be nice to keep the momentum going next year, but so long as the quality is kept up, either will work, I suppose. Yeah, as long as you have one or the other, I guess we're fine. So on to the review. So last Sunday we had episode 3 of Series 11. Simply titled Rosa. Every time I've Googled this into Google, they think I'm talking about Rose, which is obviously the 2005 launch story. So I don't know if it was sort of intentional to have quite a similar thing, but yeah, it's I don't know if they're paralleling sort of to the first episode of Series 1. But yeah, so take a look at the synopsis. The synopsis reads, attempting to return home to Sheffield, the Titan instead drops the 13th Doctor and friends in 1955 Alabama, where somebody's planning on meddling with time. Is that a little subtle reference to the time meddler? Meeting seamstress Rosa Parks. The Doctor and friends must work together to correct the flow of time and keep events in order before things go horribly wrong. So, going into this episode, I didn't know what to think, to be honest. I think throughout sort of obviously Doctor Who's years, we have some great historical stories. With obviously the William Hartnell stories, that's with them being sort of like pure historicals, no aliens, just the Doctor and the companions going into historical events. and just experiencing that and trying to get out of trouble, which I think what Chibnall was trying to echo back to, that and trying to be sort of intentionally educational. And I say the historicals, there have been some memorable historicals through the new series, but this one really, really blew me away. I was just the way they dealt with the civil rights movement and the racial issues of that time. It wasn't preachy. It was just very raw. I was quite shocked. I was sort of read a thing beforehand, and it said, obviously we've got to sort of try and balance the line of obviously it being a kids show, but obviously don't want to be sort of like sugarcoating it. So that was quite interesting. And obviously when I watched it, I was like, I see what you mean now. But yeah, Adam, have you got any opening thoughts on Rosa?
Well, I'll admit, I was absolutely blown away with this episode. I truly was. I think the performances were absolutely strong, particularly Vinette Robinson playing Rosa Parks. I think she did a wonderful job, and to me, she was the heart of the story. The gang were on point as well, and it was a brave episode dealing with these themes and very elegantly and beautifully as well. Sometimes you don't want to come across as, too on the nose or too preachy, particularly when you're dealing with this. But I think the subject matter was dealt wonderfully. Yeah, production looked brilliant on the whole, and I will all talk about specifically, but I was just like, yeah, it wasn't the ensemble. I think story wise, I'll just talk about a little bit here. I guess the sci-fi of the story, the fact that the TARDIS had picked up this kind of Archeron, energy from 1955, that kind of brings the crew in, and that's in the Archeron energy coming from, I forgot the bloke's name, but the racist bloke, the time traveling Nazi, the time traveling Nazi guy,
Krasko,
yeah. Picking up the Archeron. So. And Jodie got some great scenes with Krasko. There's some really cool stuff. So I feel like that element worked just as well, but really the heart of the story was Rosa. But you have that element in there to, put that twist on it, to put the Doctor Who spin on it, as it were. So I think both kind of linked up really well without one feeling weaker than the other. I think both parts complemented each other very well.
Yeah, it was a nice balance. I think there was probably a slight more focus on the story, but I felt the villain more served the story. It was sort of like, it was just sort of like he just stepped back a couple of times, just to let the story take place, so he sort of worked around his case, sort of like centering around him, but yeah, like Adam said, it was just really, really blown away by this. The production values were absolutely amazing. The historical settings, the writing was glorious. So the writing was done co-written with Chris Chibnall and Mallory Blackman, who's written for the Doctor Who short trip stuff. She did a Seventh Doctor story with Ace and the Daleks, which was very good actually. I did listen to it the other day, and she completely gets the sort of the Doctor Who tone, and for this, it was just obviously doing justice to Rosa Parks, which was on a writing level was done beautifully, absolutely beautifully. So yeah, obviously the first scene, you think I don't know if I was anyone who thought this, but I thought, is this going to happen now? Is this the moment where she's going to sort of start her sort of like a legend throughout history? But obviously it was set 12 years before, just trying to show how long she'd been dealing with it. That sort of built up moment to her sort of actions, or sort of the stopping. Stopping the bus basically. But yeah, it was a really nice scene, just showing. Wasn't a nice scene; it was bloody horrible. But but no, it was good to show the sort of setting and showing how long it'd been on for. I think it was before the war, World War II, that this stuff was happening. So Um, but yeah, it was a good scene, sort of showing the bus driver and his stuff. What did you make of the first now? Were you a bit like, did you think it was going to be that pivotal moment?
The first thing,
Yeah,
yes. So we've cut back to 1943, I believe. So it's 12 years prior um, to 1955, of course, and the event of that's the story. And yeah, it opened cold, and you felt. I think immediately you felt the kind of cold, harsh reality of the situation
mm,
that Rosa was in, and I think the bus driver, the actor himself, was, oh my god,
yeah,
he absolutely not. He nailed that kind of. He really. I just felt so much tension in there, in that scene, and I think it's all due to the actors. I think they,
yeah.
I truly felt that I was watching history, so that was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they definitely done the proper research into the roles. Actually, the bus drive, you like you said that was just that tension, and the atmosphere on the bus was just like I said, really tense. And he was just a complete horrible names insert here, but yeah, yeah, I think it was a great opening scene to just take that, just sort of show this ain't going to be a nice ride. And I think it did sell it well because obviously Doctor Who doesn't really go this deep, I don't think, into um, obviously racial issues and sort of obviously does do, it's always been an advocate for political issues and all these different sort of stuff that we sort of have in the world. But I think um, it was more deeper this time. I think it was just more of a sort of like raw look. And as you go through episodes, you just there's that sort of that shock factor every time. Like, damn, they did that! Bloody hell, fair play to them. So yeah, obviously we saw the first thing to get with the TARDIS landing, which was a beautiful shot of it just sort of tracking into the alleyway, which I thought was really, really nice. I really like the new TARDIS transition of when it comes in. It's it sort of echoes back to the first series with Chris Eccleston, where it has that sort of real big impact when it actually lands, which I think we lost um, over the sort of the years through the sort of Moffat era. But it's nice to see it back and have that sort of impact landing. Yeah, as I say, I think the first shocking thing was obviously when Ryan gets attacked by that bloke and his wife, when he just gets an absolute big slap, and obviously Ryan does go for him, but thankfully Rosa intervenes, and I think that was like again, it was just another sort of like bang. This we're really dealing with stuff. What was your reaction when you saw Ryan get slapped?
I was like, oh my god, because this is a character that's Ryan. Of course, is a seems like a really cool dude, like a nice guy, and Toes and Cole bring so much believability in that, and just to see the character get, especially how it was very slow. It was very slow mo. It really held on that moment.
Yeah.
Just to be like, whoa,
Mm.
this was truly, it was truly, it just like the previous scene. It was just truly, yeah. That's it. That it felt, I felt cold. I felt,
Mm.
oh my god. To me, this is when it just felt the world of Doctor Who just started to feel so much real and steeped in
Mm.
history, which I haven't really felt for a while, to be perfectly honest. I
No.
guess a little bit in Twice Upon a Time with the armistice, going back to 1914.
Mm.
But I think this is history, not without any whimsiness to it at all. This was, which I think is a nice change, which I think
Yeah.
I think it's all the better for. I think, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say it did have that kind of as the episode started. It's like, oh, is that they had that kind of whimsical thing of like, oh, we're in the past, we're going to see all this great stuff, and Yaz obviously is really, really excited. Um,
Yeah.
but as soon as
Mm.
that moment happens, they're sort of like, again, it just has that real, well, obviously, it just that harsh, there's a harsh coldness at the times. Do you know what I mean? It's not the sort of pretty. I think that quickly goes away for them. That sort of like fact. Oh my god, we're in the past. This is amazing. And that's like, oh, they're all really nice people. But yeah, as obviously then we get the sort of star of the show, Rosa Parks, obviously played by Vanette Robinson, I believe, who was in the Chris Chibnall episode 42. She was the first one to get disintegrated, if people remember that episode. What was it? Yeah, Vanette Robinson. Yeah, I think she did a brilliant. I'm not going to say impression because I think that's quite class bad, but I thought she did a great accent. I think because obviously I know she was obviously a British actress, but if you didn't, I think she really sold that sort of Southern American accent really well. And yeah, she just added that real warmth to Rosa. I say because I watched those interviews with the real Rosa Parks before the episodes, and she does have this really just sort of kind, loving, outgoing view on life. But at the same time, you obviously see that, but obviously she also brings that sort of like seriousness to the role as well. Do you mean she's not going to be messed about with? You see that throughout the episode, obviously leading up to that moment. Obviously, she's just like, I've had enough. Let's take action. So yeah, what did you think of Vanette Robinson's performance, Adam?
She was absolutely phenomenal and gave such a powerhouse performance. Even when she's not speaking, even in silent moments when it cuts to whether she's looking up at the bus driver or whether she's looking when she's walking out at the end, when she's just looking back at the doctor and co. I think the accent was. I think she really nailed the accent as well. I thought she was absolutely at the heart of the story. There, a brilliant performance all round, and I think they did a really good job because I saw a picture that they had the side by side, like they put the phone like a picture of Rosa Parks, and then the actual actress herself. I thought, oh my god, this is an incredible makeup job and transformation as well as an acting job. It's the two of them coming together, and you kind of bring it back to life, just tell this story. And for that, I think Vanette Robinson, she was fantastic, and she to me is probably going to stand up there like Simon Callow as Charles Dickens, and other sort of guest actors. She really is, I don't think we've ever really had that in a while, I guess, with Doctor Who, like, of course, a guest actor coming in to fill the shoes. Not really. So I feel like Simon Callow as Charles Dickens stands up to me. I think she's up there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely get what you mean. Like we've not had that for God knows how long, have we? Really, like obviously from the last one we had was it Robin Hood, which obviously is just fantasy. So
yeah,
that's the last
that's more fancy, if anything.
Yeah. So it's not really been a historical film, really. I probably the last one was, if I'm wrong, Winston Churchill. I always say that was like the last like historical film where you just like you said the parallels are just uncanny. But yeah, no, I think, as I said, I think she did an amazing performance. And that end scene was just like, we'll talk about obviously later on. Yeah, let's go through the main cast now. So obviously we have the Doctor, which I think she had a more serious role this episode. She had those sort of comedic moments, which I know a lot of people sort of said she had too much of in like the first episode. Obviously, she's going through regeneration. Of course, what are you going to do? But I felt this episode she was a more grounded Doctor. Sort of that women's school stuff went away. Obviously we had some amazing stuff through it. Obviously with claiming her she was Banksy. I honestly I found it hilarious. It was a really nice touch. And yeah, you just really got to feel that she is a real threat to people that just mess with obviously the Krasko character. She really pushes limits. I noticed now she's got this thing where she comments on the villain's name. Obviously, she said the woman who lived. Now she's done it with Krasko. She goes, "Oh, that's a rubbish name." But yeah, no, I think she played the role amazingly. And obviously, at the end, obviously, she made that critical decision that they had to stay on the bus, which you could tell. Obviously, the doctor's always trying to obviously kind of intervene when she can to help out people. But obviously, in that moment, she couldn't do anything. Do you mean that she had, for time's sake? It was almost sort of like what was a Mars moment where you just can't. It's a fixed point. Leave it. You have to just let it happen. Yeah, what do you think of the Doctor this episode?
The Doctor, yes. Jodie Whittaker, brilliant once again. I think this is probably her standout performance in, I feel like, in this story. I loved the scenes with her and Kraska. I think there's some really nice confrontational scenes. I love the scene when she throws his stuff back in the past. I thought that was brilliant. Kind of taste of your medicine, just like, haha, your stuff's in the past now. And the scene where he's choking her, and she's just like, see, you can't, because there's an inhibitor in your brain that's telling you, so you can't do it. Really trying to playing with him. I love there's a little bit with the Sonic as well. She kind of sonics him. She kind of just walks up to him, kind of sonics him, and just walks away at the gang. And I think for me, what absolutely stood out with her Doctor was being on the bus, and you could see that in her face. She really can't stand the fact that she has to watch this happen, just like the others. But like the other, even when Graham's saying, "Oh, I can't watch this," but Doctor, who's this hopeful optimist, is kind of you're not seeing. She's trying so hard to very much keep it in, and it's very much internal. And Jodie gives a brilliant internal performance at that moment, particularly like the close-ups with her sitting on the bus. You could see so much more in there, just by looks, and that's what I think is so powerful about the ending. There's a lot done in looks as well. You really get how they're feeling in that moment. So, oh my god, it kind of just made me. It makes me feel bad. It's like I was very skeptical at first, of course, but I've come out. I was like, my god, she really can, and put it off just as well as the other actors who have played this role. And I guess because I knew that she'd never really played a role like this.
No, she
but
said
also. Yeah, so but at the same time, maybe she kind of has. She does struggle very well, and she very much acted for adults. This is kind of the first time she's acted for. I think like she's in trainings and stuff, but this is very much a family show, and I've kind of been thinking for a while that I guess she has been more doing adult dramas to kind of step into this family show. It'd be hard for anyone, maybe particularly if she hasn't done like Whimsy that much, or this kind of hyperactive alien, but she nails it, and that Banksy joke was very funny too.
Yeah, I love that. It was, and then when she brought it back up again, I thought it was hilarious. Whenever I see Banksy, I'll just see Jodie's Doctor with the hood just going like with the graffiti can. I'm surprised nobody's photoshopped that yet. I thought Joe was brilliant. The scenes with her and Krasko were absolutely amazing. She really did take the authority. And like I said, if you just feel like, do not mess with the Doctor. But yeah, like I said, it was great. Like the end scene, like you said, obviously you don't have to do any talking. There's minimal talking. It's all facial expressions. That's like the key of acting, really. Like you should be able to tell the emotion through an expression or all that great stuff. So it leaves a lot for the actors to really give it their performances. And with Jodie and the other cast, like just beautiful. Going on to the Doctor's friends now. It was great actually as a whole to see them all have something to do. They all had something to do this episode, which was amazing. They all had something to contribute, which I felt has had like an imbalance, especially with like Yaz. It was great to see her coming a bit for it. Obviously, next episode and the next couple of episodes, she's gonna have like be the main focus. Kind of taking Ryan's place, which I felt. So hopefully they'll sort of do like 3 episodes. Obviously they've done 3 episodes of Ryan with like this forefront. Obviously he gets like a lot of abuse episode. And obviously Yasmin, hopefully next three, maybe Bradley for the final three. We don't know, but yeah, no, it was great to see them all have something to do. Start with Graham. It was really great to see him with the bus stuff. That was really nice. That all sort of like came around to it. Like obviously this focus, obviously the centre around the bus. I thought he got some great stuff to do. Uh, Obviously going on his own to speak with James Blake, sorry. There's obviously the guy who's driving the bus, obviously Rosa Parks, sort of still on there. I don't think what else he did. Yeah, obviously the main obviously attention on him because he's what's the word? What's my train of thought? Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, I think he sort of took a step back, but when he was needed to be there, he was there, sort of providing obviously the comedy, which is great stuff. And obviously, again, with the acting at the end, he was just you just could tell with his face, it was just like damn, like. But I think he was there with support for Yaz and Ryan, obviously going for like crap through this episode. In terms of like sort of characters and how they're treated. So, but it's great for Graham to just sort of be by his side, sort of just trying to get them through it. But obviously knowing like he couldn't do anything, and obviously like there's a great scene when Ryan has to go on the back of the bus and he just says, "I feel so ashamed." So obviously he's obviously from those times as well where it's just not right. So it was great. What did you think of Bryce's performance episode?
I think he was really good. I think this is definitely an episode where he does strike balance really well.
Yeah.
Even when he's going to the river with Ryan, he's like, "All right, cocker," or whatever he says. I love the hack of the dog reference. That made me. So that was cool. I was just trying to think. Steve Jobs joke. Yeah, I kind of had a little laugh from that. That little Steve Jobs reference. Yeah, I think this highlight was definitely at the back of the bus at the end when he doesn't, or when he's trying to get off and he doesn't want to be a part of this. Even I think it's probably people were always skeptical with Bradley Walsh being on board. Just like, he's going to be too comedic, but I don't really think that's ever been. I don't really feel like he's been like hugely comedic at all. He seems more grounded, which I guess is a contrast if you compare, like, I guess Matt Lucas and Nardo, where I know he's more comedic and most of his lines are more played for laughs than I guess a serious dramatic one. But this, whereas Nardo was one extreme, Graham was more the other. So that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, no, it's there when it needs to be, but overall he is a really gunny character. Yeah, like obviously is Bradley Walsh, and in real life, obviously he's such a funny guy, as we've seen on various videos, and obviously the chase. But no, I felt like it's obviously it does provide the comedy sometimes, but I don't feel he sort of stands out as obviously Nardo's there for complete comedy. I feel Graham does add the comedy here and there, but so the other characters as well. So
I do want to. I want to bring up something. I feel like this is kind of, if we're talking about Graham, I think I feel he's not going to last more than one series, and that would be due to the fact that Bradley Walsh has got. I think there's a new game show or something that there was a thing come up on Facebook today saying, it's going to be this quiz show. Bradley Walsh is doing it I think they're filming next year or something. I mean, whether he balances that out, whether they keep Graham or maybe they'll keep Ryan or Yaz, or maybe they'll. I don't know. I doubt they'll do a complete blank slate again, but it does get me thinking whether Graham is really this one series wonder. But I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoy seeing him in Doctor Who. That I feel like when we lose him, I'm probably going to be really devastated. Just because I feel even if we've had just two series overall with him. I think that would have been cool, but
Mm.
I don't know, man. Like, you know,
It,
I
yeah.
just I was it's because it's a dynamic between Graham and Ryan. It's that kind of, and it might be a point where Ryan kind of accepts it and really sees him as the granddad figure, and
Yeah.
then something happens to him, and something happens to Graham, and then
Oh, that's be
I don't
horrible.
know, man. Yeah, it'd be
That's
horrible,
so
definitely.
sad. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking kind of because I know when because well, like again the fishing scene, Graham does say like, "Oh, he's my grandson." Jamie's basically like, he's not your grandson." And I was hoping, I was like, "Come on, Ryan," to say yes, he is my grandfather, like, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't take the death of Graham for him to realise that. That'd be super sad. But yes, I did see that. That Bradley Walsh is filming in 2019 for a show. So unless the series is pushed back to 2020, and he has got time to film a series, or he has left, we don't know. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that. We'll find out obviously by end of this series or Christmas time. Who knows? But I'm hoping to hopefully see his companions for another series after this. I've really grown. I think they're amazing dynamic of a TARDIS team. So we're really sad if if any of them leave. So fingers crossed, they stay on. Yeah, on to Ryan now, who goes through some horrible stuff this episode. Like Am said earlier, because we've got to know Ryan for these past two episodes. Obviously, we know he's obviously about his dyspraxia, and we've got to know him as a character. It's just horrible to see someone we've grown to such a short space of time go through these disgusting acts in the past. I think the highlight scene between it's him with Yaz talking about the prejudice that's still around in 2018, where I think he says obviously when he gets stopped by the police, he gets stopped more than his white mates. And obviously Yaz has a great thing about how she gets, obviously as a policewoman, she gets sort of stuff based on her ethnicity. Yeah, it was just a real scene. It just felt like it was just two characters, not even characters, just two real people talking about the struggles of their ethnicity in 2018. Although Rosa Parks is such an amazing act, you've still got those sort of troubles. So, but yeah, so I think those two are actually brilliant this episode. Did you get a sense, Adam, that those two had like a bit of a romance going? I think there's a bit of like flirting going on.
A little bit, yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think that will be fully explored until later on.
No.
Probably, I don't feel like it'd be next episode and suddenly they're a couple, which would be the most strangest transition ever. But I kind of maybe you could kind of think, oh, well, maybe they'll probably will be, but I think it'd be really good for them if they didn't. I think the series, I don't think it needs it necessarily. I think
No.
there's kind of enough baggage with their characters already. If anything, I think people will be disappointed because they see Yaz with the Doctor, man. I think I'm jumping way too ahead of myself, but in the clip, Yaz invites the Doctor for tea, and that's meant to be a lovely moment between the two of them. And then it's Ryan and Graham rekindling and all that. That's how I kind of see that dynamic, if anything. But there probably will be if they set it up. If they keep going with it, then perhaps, or maybe it's just Mallory Blackman. I know they've done this whole writer thing, but maybe Mallory Blackman's think maybe she has one idea, and then I don't think like other writers, although they kind of talk in the same room, I don't think they have to. I don't think they'll have to be on the same page in the sense of Yasmin and Ryan's dynamic, unless that really is what Chris Chibnall's planting the seeds. That's
Massive
sort of
fan, yeah.
it's kind of I'm kind of wondering because I know Chris Chibnall co-wrote this story, but it's going to be thinking what he actually did or what contribute he made to it. Because
Yeah. Just
I
the
do see
flirting
this as a
scenes.
solo effort, if anything, because like
Yeah.
Rosa Parks at the heart of the story, and I know that's definitely what Mallory Blackman. That's definitely a forte. It's the whole Rosa Parks thing. Whether Chibnall kind of maybe put in this little bit of sci-fi element, but I kind of think she would as well, or
Yeah.
whether it's No, I kind of I can't tell really, but if he has sowed seeds with the characters, then that's I get more of an understanding of why he's credited as a writer as well.
It'd be interesting to go back once the series is done and then see what if that actually came up to anything or not. Do you know what I mean? I'm interested to see what the characters at the end of the series, if that romance did blossom or not. Like that'd be we'll see. But yeah, no, I think Ryan has some brilliant scenes. Obviously when he followed uh, Rosa Parks home and got to meet Martin Luther King, that great moment where he's like, "Sorry, Mr. King." Yes, Rosa Parks. Like that was a hilarious scene, but a really
Martin Luther King
yeah,
came too much of a surprise to me. Like I didn't. I know there was like mentions of him. I think before.
yeah.
Possibly, but yeah, that was. I think that was wow. And I do love that moment where he goes turn around and he goes, "Whoa." Tosin Cole, I think, was born to play this role. I think he knocks it out of the park. He really does, and I don't want any of them to leave because I absolutely am warming to how human they are, and
Yeah,
how they're like, oh my god, it's Rosa Parks,
yeah,
but also the kind of and yes, you can write characters that are also at times are vulnerable and aren't in the best stage. So I think, yeah, my God, I think also because I'm thinking about the clip afterwards as well, like the Arachnids in the UK, the new clip. I know we might talk about it, but it's just
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's that full series. It's like I just look forward to seeing them every week. It brings a smile to my face. Oh, we get to see these guys every week. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I think they're
yeah,
one of the better formed TARDIS crews we've had. I'd say alongside the original TARDIS crew, and I say like the quartet, because you have the quartet and you have the trinities, as it were, and then your standard one-on-one. So they're one of the finest quartets we've had.
oh, yeah. They like I said, I really look forward to tuning into the characters. And as the story could be kind of relevant, like the spy story, yeah, that's cool. But we get to see this great team dynamic.
Exactly.
And I think obviously we've had all through the new series, we've had this kind of um, uh, obviously modern companions, but these have felt like real life, living, breathing people. And even though we need to experience 3 episodes of them, I fell in love with like a doctor and friends dynamic. It is absolutely crazy. Um, yeah, so yeah, Ryan has some amazing scenes, and I'm really glad for these 3 episodes. He's been the main focus and got time to shine. But I think now going forward, we're going to be shifting main focus on to Yasmin, who we got a glimpse of this episode. I felt, as I said, the last 2 episodes, I feel we've had an imbalance with her character. Not she's been the one that sort of had the short straw each time, really getting to know her character, etc. So hopefully, obviously, we're going to go see her family in episode 4, Ratners in the UK. So that's going to be really cool. But we got little hints about, as I said, the scene she shared with Ryan. That was really, really lovely. And we got to see her talk about her aspirations with Rosa Parks. That was a really nice, touching scene. And also her being able to use her police work as well, doing the investigation stuff. So, and again, yeah, I think there was a great balance this episode. Yeah, what do you think he adds to this episode, Adam?
Yeah, I thought she was very good. I think she contributed well to the story. I liked her scenes with Rosa Parks when she was mending the doctor's coat. I do like the fact that the two of them also go up to that guy's house and say, "You've won a trip to away to see Frank Sinatra." Which, oh my god, if that was me, I'd react like that. Frank fucking Sinatra, man, so cool. Yeah, Mandip Gill gave a very good performance in there, and I look forward to just seeing the family. I'll talk about next week again. This is like the next topic, and I'm already yeah. It's just because it's an ongoing series. It's ongoing. I think it's more character arcs rather than stories arcs, which I really appreciate. Actually, if anything else, because you start to see because I'm starting to see the fact that I'm starting to see more of her, and the fact that she's, that she's going out and to speak to Rosa Parks, and that she has that. Oh my God, no way! It's Rosa Parks, and
Yeah.
scenes like that. They're so cool. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to tune into some comments now, so you can sort of get people involved. Hoovian says it was a core historical episode, and they liked how they brought back the Vortex manipulator. Yeah, there's a couple of Easter eggs in this episode, which we'll talk about with Krasko. One commenter says one might suppose that Chibnall's contributions was continuity things like companion dialogue, e.g., reference to Grace. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, like Adam said, we don't really know how much of a contribution or what he contributed to this episode, or how much it was Blackman. But we'll have to wait and see. Well, I guess we'll never know. But
I posed a question to you, and I guess the commenters. Okay. So this episode opened with the title sequence again, and straight into the title sequence. So no pre-credit sequence. Do you guys think that we will be keeping this up? Do you think there'll be no pre-credit sequences at all? Because it's very much Classic Who that, because you watch Classic Who and that's what you immediately see. So the title sequence, and on very few occasions, like Remembrance of the Daleks, the Five Doctors, and and a few others. I think Time and Irani as well, or maybe, I think as well, that had pre-title sequences, but mainly with New Who we've had pre-title sequences. Apart from Rose, actually, I think that was actually one of, and maybe a couple others.
I think every new series opener with the Russell T Davis didn't have a. Oh no, I think it was Rose.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think Smith and Jones didn't have one. No,
Smith and Jones and Partners in Crime didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think all the Matt Smith ones did, but
yeah.
Commenters, please comment what you think on that. I really like it. Obviously, in the class series, that was like the main thing. So, and it's a nice shake-up because, and it's quite good because when I was watching it, you think, right, I don't have to think of when's the title sequence coming. They have to have this like big moment where it's like, oh, like you can just get into have the titles, all that great stuff. So yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments. Speaking of the comments, Anonymous Thomas said, knocked it out the park. I'm really trying to make a Rosa Parks pun here, but can't think of one. Well, you still one there, mate. It was quite fun, actually. I was thinking of trying to get a funny edit thing, but this episode was just really dark, it was just...
In fact, actually, I feel bad. I know, I feel like it interrupting. You were saying it was very dark, but I don't think, a pre-credit sequence would have worked. You have that flashback, and then you have the Doctor Who intro. I don't think that would have worked. You kind of want to get straight into the story anyway, and that to me felt perfect. That they got it done. Now here's the full story, and here's the full experience, which I think. Yeah, do you know what? Now I don't. Now I don't really want it.
I know. Sequence. I don't want a pre-title sequence now because it has worked so well these first 3 episodes. Because imagine having that in the Ghost Monument, it just set the mood. With the Woman Who Fell to Earth, I was thinking in my head, thinking like subconsciously, because obviously as a being a Doctor Who fan, watching it for the past how many years, and you think, where's the pre-title sequence? Where's the titles? Where's the titles? But obviously, once that gone away with the Ghost Monument, that would have completely spoiled the momentum of that opener. Which is go. So, and like this episode, it would have worked. So yeah, no, it was really good. A few people have responded actually. Philip says, I tried to work out where a title sequence would go in the episode, but I don't think there was any. Anywhere it could have gone, sorry. There was nowhere it could have gone. I mean, it would have spoiled the flow of the story. Yeah, that's what I was trying to sort of get at. It would have spoiled the flow. Dean Jones says, yes, you are correct. Rose, Smith and Jones, and Partners of Crime did not have pre-title sequences. Anonymous Thomas also says, Cash Revolver has a pre-title sequence.
Yes, it does.
Flashbacks to Tom Baker. Isaac says, this is his favourite episode of Series 11 so far. One of my favourite historicals. Yeah, it goes up there with Vince and the Doctor for me. It was really, really that good. this comment actually leads me on to the next topic, which is the villain. Philip says again, to chime in a random thought, I have suspicions we haven't seen the last of Krasko, which was the villain. What do you think?
I think
Maybe.
it's
What do you
very
think?
interesting that I feel bad for like talking like
No, no,
I
I
feel
thought
like I'm
so.
interrupting you. I don't know if it's the connection or anything.
Crack on, crack on.
We've got the Stenza and now Krasko as kind of the villains who may, reappear, but I don't know. I feel like one of these villains definitely can't come back. If not this season, maybe next season. I mean, who knows? Maybe Krasko will be the big villain this season, and then and then we get a full on Stenza slaughter. That's the Stenza invasion of Earth, like next season, perhaps. So I think it really depends. Like, I don't know if we're gonna have villains now that just be like, oh, they've got another one. I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like his story's done. Like, I don't necessarily
Yeah,
see the need necessarily, but I think it'd be fine if yes, he does reappear, but I think he just worked for this story, and I feel like when he sent him back to the past, I think that's kind of the whole point. When they send him back to the past, it's kind of, oh, you're a racist.
on.
You know that you kind of you literally say to people, oh, your mind's way in the past, so it's
Yeah.
literally a metaphor. Oh, right, we'll literally send you to the past where you
Yeah.
belong, kind of thing. So
Wasn't he
I think
sent back to the dinosaurs? Was that,
yeah.
I thought that was, is that what they said in the
Maybe
episode? No,
maybe
he's
he's
dead.
just an
He's
old
gone.
dinosaur. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of the thing for me. I feel like his story definitely did end. I guess maybe with Stenza, yeah, I guess you could, but I don't think that's the case with Krasko.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's a weird one. How they've dealt with these the villains for this first villain. Obviously, they pretty much all have vanished. To think about it, because obviously the Stenza, obviously before that silly bloke kicked him off the crane, he managed to teleport somewhere. Um, and the bloke who was doing all the race stuff, he obviously vanished. But that was sort of resolved.
Bring him back.
They
He's
need
more
to do a Chibnall monster
he's actually the
villain
meddling
team.
monk all this time. And
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, my boy.
yeah, yeah. So no, it's funny. So on to the villain, which was Krasko. Um, uh, yeah, I think if he was taken out of the story, it could have worked. I think there could be another way around um, them not being on the bus. But obviously, this is sort of kind of the closest thing we've got to a historical Doctor Who story without an alien threat, which at the last time was Black Orchid. Was it? I think
Possibly, yes.
possibly. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Isaac says in the comments, yes, Black Orchid, cool. So but as a villain, I thought, yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. Not the most memorable one ever, but he wasn't the main focus. Again, I thought he was when he was on screen, he did have a real presence against Jodie, giving her sort of run for her money. But again, Jodie's just like boom on the Doctor. Um, I liked obviously he was basically like the Easter egg man. uh, because obviously had the vortex manipulator, and also he was obviously from Storm Cage, which I didn't realise till after the episode was River Song's prism. It didn't come to me watching the first time round. Yeah, he had this neuron blocker because it was quite a good question because when the Doctor does say, "Oh, why wasn't he just killed Rosa Parks?" And it's just been the more simplest thing to do. I was thinking, yeah, why don't you just do that? I don't get it. Obviously, when he's obviously revealed to the neuron block, he has a real nice edge, which is not just like a mad sort of racist time traveling killer, which he could have been, but obviously that killing aspect is taken away. So another scene with Jodie really sort of pushing it to the edge. We've seen like that breaking point. Yeah, what do you think of the villain of Krasko?
Yeah, he was a dick, wasn't he? I feel apologies for my language, but yeah, he was a bit of he was a bit of a dick. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. It comes to very interesting that you have this kind of Nazi-ish figure without it being, well, the big name, the Daleks, essentially. You kind of have
Yeah,
other, you can have kind of other kind of manifestations of that kind of term, essentially, and you kind of have, um, Krasko is kind of it, you know,
yeah,
and I think go back all the way back to Ryan. I do love his awesome Ryan. Well done, Ryan. That kind of when Ryan has that little conversation with after he sent him back. The actor was really cool. He came across that way. And oh my god, he has a vortex manipulator. Oh my
yeah.
god. And he's from Stormcage. It's references that you could say, oh, this is how he got here, and this is his prison, rather than oh my god, I have to go to series 1 and find out about this vortex manipulator, or go to series 3 or whatever, or you know, I have to go to series 5 or 6 to find out about Stormcage and whatnot. It's kind of um, these are names that we know, but to the audience, that's how he time travels, and he came from prison. So I think with like the references that
Yeah.
this is how you do it, man. This is how you do it.
This how you
Um,
do it. Like you said, you like obviously we played on. Oh my god, what's this me played? Oh my god, Stormcage. But if you don't know, there's a man, and that's the great thing about it. It's just Easter eggs. That's the point. If you notice them, you notice them. If not, fine. But it's not like the episode don't ground to a stop going. This is a vortex manipulator. This
and
is
it
what
wasn't like
Captain Jack
I was.
happened.
It's not like I was kind of waiting for it as well. It's not like I'm kind of expected. It's like, oh, he must. It was like, oh, Art Malik is definitely the time editor. I mean, I jokingly think that and kind of wish it was, but I kind of just like, oh, he definitely is. Oh, Art Malik is now the new incarnation of the Master, just playing his own little tricks. I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't know, not necessarily necessary. So,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was quite interesting idea that I didn't really think about it till after the episode. That even obviously Rosa Parks did this amazing act, which obviously has changed a lot. Even the far future and the sort of further it's in space, racism is still there, which I don't really sort of see or notice the sort of parallels to that to afterwards. But yeah, I remember seeing him for the first time. I was thinking, is he like an Elvis cosplayer? But I like the device he had. I thought that was a pretty cool device, and I like how it was sort of like used against him by Ryan. I was really shocked by that. Actually, I was like, fair play, Ryan. Like, he obviously was like fiddling him a bit when the drop stat was talking about guarding time, which was a really nice moment. I thought. But yeah, I don't think he was that memorable, but he served the story. And I think the actors did really, really well. Actually, I think that's what sort of brought him to life. But yeah, it was quite interesting to have someone who's simply just gone, "We're racist. I have time travel. Let's go screw up." Just how easy it can be done. But obviously, imagine the consequences. So there's quite a thing. Just I'm going to go kill Rosa Parks. It was like, right, okay, let's try and be clever about this. And it got a bit comedic when he had to like disguise himself as a mechanic. Like he
Yeah.
put on a mechanic costume just to say, "Yeah, your bus is screwed up. You can't use it," which you could quite clearly see with like the tires and the windows blown out.
Although that bus driver, oh my god, keep bumping into Bradley Walsh all over the place.
Yeah.
He's one lucky guy.
Um, yeah, he was. I've always played very well. He was like the most angriest person I've just seen on Doctor Who. Every little thing, like, "Get off my fish! Don't do that!" He was just shouting all the time. Like, he had a lot of built-up aggression. But that pool table scene was quite interesting because I don't know. He didn't. I don't know if he was. I think, yeah, he obviously was partially racist, but he was more akin to like the rules. I thought, and I think that was his like principle. So obviously he was partially racist, obviously, but he was. I just felt like he was like abiding by the rules, and nobody need. These are the rules. I will go ape if you go past these rules. But yeah, no, I thought it was a really nice addition to the episode, like the band between on the fishing scene. That was hilarious. Yeah, there's some really, really lovely moments in this episode. Yeah, going on to the final scene now, I think that's time to go on to that thing, which was really a real beautiful, heartbreaking scene, but really empowering as well. It was just obviously it's like one of those pivotal moments in history which nobody mainstream knew about. I don't think I never learned about it in school. I spoke to those people before the episode who never even heard of Rosa Parks. What? So, and I obviously, it would have been nice to have gone to the episode not known about her, but I watched like a YouTube documentary stuff before the episode came out in the week, just sort of get to know about her, what her actions did to sort of the civil rights movement and all that great stuff. So, but yeah, it was a amazingly played out scene, and obviously that realization, obviously with Graham, where he's like, right, we've done our work, we're done, let's go, let's move on from this, and obviously they have to stay to let play history out. They are part of the story, as Yaz says. And I think it's like I think they obviously knew they were building up to that moment. Obviously, the characters knew about that moment, but I think when they actually see it and obviously a part of it, it was just you could just see them all like just real heartbroken and just don't want to be part of this whole black. But it's nice to know like the Doctor's always part of some sort of big history event. Yeah, how did you feel about the end scene, Adam, with Rosa Parks standing up to the bus driver?
Yes, well, this is very much the pivotal scene. Oh, is that my bad? Because I think there's a bit of an echo, or is it? Oh, it's kind of gone about now, but it sort of started. I think, yeah. Sorry, it's cool now. I think.
That's why I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. My apologies.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, this is very much like the scene of the story, and I dare say I liked the pop song that played, "Rise Up." I think it was very beautiful. Scored that very well. I think what was most powerful about it is the actors' faces. You see a lot more when they're just the way they look and the way I think the way they portray themselves. I think is fantastic. And the close-ups shots were fantastic, and that angry James Bradley, I think, is the actual bus driver, the actual bus driver, as part of the incident. My God, it felt real. It felt like, and it was the case of there's nothing that they could do. They had to stay on this bus. They had to watch this horrible thing happen, and the fact that this has happened to our crew, it's they've been on a kind of fun kind of space romp last week, so now it's so bizarre that now this is where they get to see a positive and negative side of traveling with the Doctor. There is this kind of balance. All is not a perfect world, and sometimes sometimes there will be situations that you got the Doctor. You can't rewrite history. Got one line, and that was very much the case here. And I even will say, and because this kind of carried on the actual ending, the Doctor talking about Rosa Parks to the companions, I thought that was very good. And then seeing her get the medal at the end, Rosa Parks get the medal, I think that was very good. And people say, "Oh, well, it's basically just the Doctor just teaching." But I think it's kind of a family audience. I think you've got to have that kind of aspect of
that's the point.
The Doctor telling them, kind of teaching them, but also teaching young kids about Rosa Parks. And I think that's fantastic, because I don't think I ever learned about Rosa Parks at school. Her name didn't crop up, or it didn't It didn't stand out. I don't think I feel like if I had learned about her, and it would be burnt into my memory. That I would have learned what an incredible civil rights activist she really was. She was, yeah, she played a huge part, and the asteroid scene was beautiful. Oh my god,
Yeah.
when they all open the doors and say, "This is look at the asteroid. This is named as Rosa Parks." I thought, oh, this is it. And then all of them looking over the asteroid with the camera panning out at the end. And I even like the use of the song in the end credit scene
Yeah.
as well, instead of the Doctor Who theme. I thought that was really cool. It was a bit interesting that they played it into the next time trailer as well.
Yeah, it was quite a tonal shift, wasn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess if anything, it was strange that the music was in the next time trailer, but I thought it was absolutely fine with the fact that it was in the end credits. Yeah, it was one of the most beautiful scenes that we've had. That scene is now like, you know, such a big moment in Doctor Who for the revived series and for all of Doctor Who in general. I thought they played that scene really well, and it really got me to the edge of my seat. In just like, whoa, it really catches you off guard, but it really kind of holds you like this is real, man, and it's going to be dealing with some realism, which I think did beautifully. And I feel like you when you were watching, when you were doing your reaction, when I saw your reaction, of course, one of the things you brought up and what was very nice was the column in the TARDIS going up and down. I was like, oh my god, it moves. It's not just static and stay still.
Yeah, yeah. It was quite funny because I had that like a real emotional like punch, obviously from that scene, and it was just like, oh my god, the TARDIS crystal moves. Holy, it was just like, oh god. So, but yeah, that was that was a really cool thing. Yeah, the music it sometimes works, and sometimes doesn't. Obviously, it's obviously to elevate the scene, which it definitely did. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I thought this was it just elevated the scene. It was such a powerful song. It was called "100 Day Rise Up," which is on my phone now. uh, yeah, it was nice they brought back for the theme tune, the end credits thing. I don't know if it worked for the next time, but obviously it's quite interesting to have that. But yeah, I'm glad they brought it back. But yeah, as I say, it just really helped the acting that would also been portrayed, and it would have been interesting if they'd done their own composed music. But I believe the music was a song for a Black Lives Matters movement. So it adds that sort of added depth um, to that scene and that music. So obviously it parallels obviously what's happening as well. So yeah, no, I thought it worked really, really well and just added that more like emotional punch, like with that and the visuals. It was just I was just sort of like emotionally deconstructed. But yeah, and I like the scene at the end actually with um the doctor showing Ryan everybody like what happens to her. And obviously, she isn't all clear. Like she has to obviously go through these really horrible things, but at the end of her life, she is commemorated. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. The whole point. I think this was an education episode. Like nobody knew who Rosa Parks was, so I think it has done its job by educating people with a figure that's not as well known, but now is. It's given light to a situation which needs to be covered and how important it is today. So yeah, I thought it was really cool. Obviously, the asteroid at the end. I love the shot from the trailer. So when she opened those doors, like, wow. Philip says, "I love the music at the end. Thought it made sense to continue over end credits, but it jarred with the next time trailer. Yeah, yeah. As I said, like Adam said, it's one of those things I thought was quite jarring. But I don't know. It would have been interesting if like they put like some more scary music on, but like go like rise up when this guy's screaming for his life. um, so yeah, I think we should recap the episode now. Adam, what are your overall thoughts on Rosa? If you could summarize this amazing episode.
Rosa. Well, I don't think we've ever really had an episode quite like it. It was very well handled. I thought the script was very good. It had some incredible. Oh,
Oh, sorry, Joe. Sorry.
it featured some incredible performances from Jodie Whittaker, Vanette Robinson, Mandip Gill, Tosin Cole, Bradley Walsh, guy who played the bus driver, Krasko, the
Yeah.
and such. I was truly immersed into Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, and I was with the characters. I felt for the. I felt incredibly bad for the situations that Ryan and Yasmin were put in. If there was incredibly brave, it was incredibly brave, like using the word using certain words to describe. And have certain moments that put the characters in a harsh reality, and whereas an audience member you felt cold. I thought it was very brave for Doctor Who to do that, but it did that. It did that, but you felt immersed and you feel like this is real. They don't sugarcoat this at all, and I think it was very brave. But it puts you right in there, very much a looking glass, as it were. Vanessa Robinson was fantastic. There were some really cool scenes with Jodie standing off of Krasko, or the Doctor standing off of Krasko. I thought those scenes were very cool. There's some decent humor in there with the Banksy stuff and the oh my god, awesome Ryan, brilliant Ryan, that stuff. So there's a little bit of comedy, but there isn't as much in it as previous episodes, which is absolutely fine because it didn't feel too necessary. It didn't feel necessary at all to feature all that. I don't really know what else to say. The last scene was absolutely on point and one of the most important scenes in Doctor Who history. And I think, particularly the fact that it ended of them looking over the asteroid and seeing because it encapsulated that visual kind of beautiness of the asteroid and space and stuff, and that you have that asteroid and you have that part in the Space Nebula that named after her, and she is truly a legend. She truly changed. That despite seeing that harsh event played out, she to really for them to establish how important she was. My God, I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10, but it might change to a 10 over time. It's sort of I'm sort of waiting for the end of the series to really be like, oh, it might go up to a 10. It probably will over time, because even thinking about it now, I was like, I've been thinking about it and reflecting. I was like, I really want to go back and rewatch it. And when I watched it on transmission night, I rewatched it straight after it had aired, because I was absolutely impressed and I wanted to capture the details that because I have my family around, maybe they're speaking over certain things, and I just I want to make sure I fully immerse myself, just me watching the story, and I dare say I like it better the second time around, and then it'll be the case of better the third time, better the fourth time around. It will be one of those stories. But I feel like that Doctor Who story. Sometimes I feel like, that was very, very good. It was very good. And over time, of course, because you pick up on more stuff, and there'll be you rewatch it, that will be the moment where it really becomes like, this is next level. It was all about the rewatchability factor, and this is definitely one of them. I'd say Woman Who Fell to Earth, I'd say, is also rewatchable, just the fact that it was her first. But I think Ghost Monument, maybe not so much. Maybe
Ghost Monument for me was like
the glue, but
yeah,
pretty much so. It was pretty much the glue, but it wasn't attractive glue or anything like that. It was just glue for me. But there you are.
Awesome. Yeah. Like when I was rewatching it, I think I've 3 times I've watched it now. And I'll be watching it a few more times as well. But like I said, the more I watch it, the more I love and find new brilliant things about it. As I say, best episode by far this series. It was really nice to have another writer write for Jodie's Doctor and her friends. And I think she really comes back to write some more. It was a really important episode for Doctor Who and for the wider audience. Putting light on this amazing woman, Rosa Parks, telling her story with great Doctor Who goodness, it was a great story. I thought the villain served his purpose. It was nice to have just an ordinary bloke who's just got hold of these weapons and time travel, and just wanted to cause havoc, just because of one mindset. Again, like I said, it was amazing to see Ryan and Yaz, and obviously the Doctor and Graham as well. Excuse me, just obviously having that adventure thing. I'm like, oh, this is great, and then it's sort of been coldly taken away from them. There were some amazing scenes. The comedy was played for the best, but it didn't undermine any of the stuff. I thought was great. It was just just hard to put in words. I said the end scene was just the icing on the cake. It was, it really did make everything just be like, wow, this is so powerful. And it's got people talking. It's great to see the conversation start. And it was weird actually. I don't know if you heard about the news story. There was a Ryanair flight, and literally on the day of the episode airing, there was this guy who was sat next to this woman, and he was just hurling racist.
Yeah.
And that was, I didn't find out until after the episode. I was going, my God. And I hope that man just watched the episode and just realised, just how wrong they are. Do you mean? But it's sad, and obviously in a way, it's discussed obviously, because I do watch the video, and it was just
yeah. I think what was kind of hard about it was they consoled the victim, like Ryan. They consoled the victim. They consoled him, and then the victim of it.
Asked
to move. So, I thought that. I think that really just hit home that.
Yeah.
How harsh that feels, and how cold it makes you feel. I think I used the word cold a little bit. It really makes you feel, really unnerved and frightened about this is the world that we live in.
Yeah,
this is what it's like.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a shame to see that it's still going on today, but it just shows how important and impressionable Doctor can be, it was just an adult, real look on certain issues around race and prejudice, it was just handled really well. And I thought Rose Park was brought to life beautifully by both the writing and Vanette Robertson. Again, this is my favorite episode. I was thinking of 8.5, but I'm going to go for 9. I think I don't see anything. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the villain, really. But that he was still good. So if I had to rank them so far, I think I put Rose obviously at number 1, The Woman Who Lived at number 2, and The Ghost Monument at number 3. The more I watch The Ghost Monument, it's like, I don't really like this, but there we go. So Rosa, amazing historical, which goes up there with one of the great Doctor episodes, which is absolutely brilliant. It'd be interesting to see how this compares to what's to come and what we see in Jodie's era as episodes. But I think this is going to be historical to beat. So I know obviously there's more historical stories really this season than future stories, I believe. So that's going to be a real fun thing to see. Quickly on to episode 4, which is obviously next episode, which Adam has been dying to talk about this whole episode. Adam, what do you think of the trailers, pictures, and the clip released today of arachnids in the UK?
Arachnids in the United Kingdom. Well, I'm really looking forward to this story. It's them returning to Sheffield, which is really cool. We get to see Yaz's parents. Hooray! That were briefly mentioned in the Ghost Monument. So I look forward to seeing that dynamic. I look forward to seeing the Doctor and Yasmin having tea, and hopefully we'll get custard creams, bourbons, we'll get nice biscuits, we'll get digestives, we'll get chocolate digestives. We'll have a lot, and it's going to be like banter. And hopefully, I'm actually praying that we get some good stuff with Ryan and Graham. see that dynamic, because maybe that's kind of where the gang kind of splits for a little bit, because the Doctor goes off to Yasmin Fatih. Whether they just follow them afterwards, I don't really know. I don't think that could be the case at all. I'd actually quite like for them to split up. I have a funny feeling they might. I think because they were definitely filming around there, that kind of thought, well, maybe they do split up in this episode, but
I think
they'll kind of
you're right.
I know that they'll probably join at the end, and then probably travel off. Because I think the next one's a futurist spaceship. It's set on a spaceship, or it's future-esque, and then we go to India, the following one, which I'm really looking forward to, because damn, I love those historicals, and yeah, you know, and it's another new writer, because these next two are scripted by Chris Chibnall, so.
Yeah.
Not that I'm bored of him, but I do love Fresh Blood. I think every time I see Fresh Blood on Doctor Who, I always get excited anyway. So you know that's just me anyway. So yeah, I'm still looking forward to it. All the same, because I feel like it's got a few bits going for it. It's really the character stuff I'm looking forward to. I haven't even mentioned the spiders themselves. It's got a bit of a creepy factor to him. They look quite menacing, and I'm sure they'll play a bigger part of the story that than maybe I would have said for. But I think I enjoyed the clip so much that I just think, I really like the fact that maybe they will, the Doctor and Yaz will go off and do one thing, Ryan and Graham will do another, because it's the Ryan Graham dynamic of, and I don't know, maybe Ryan might go back to vlogging, or you know, maybe he's back in London. He can go back to his house and do some more vlogs, because I want to see that. And I want to see what's going on with Secret Pigeon, man. That's been bothering me since the woman who fell to Earth with that head. I was like, what is the Secret Pigeon? And then hopefully now that we're back on Earth, I think, oh my God, we're going to get the answers to everything. So, yes, I am really looking forward to this story.
Screw the spider threat. As long as they discover, and the timeless child, we don't care about that. As long as by the end of the series, you know what it is, yeah. I think you hit it on the head. I'm more excited, I think, for seeing the characters. The spider thing sounds cool, and the people I've heard seen the trailer and spoke to, they've gone like, "Oh, I'm not watching that," but you know they will, because it's like obviously I don't mind Spider find them, but I think the story needs to sell me more, obviously. But I'm more excited to see the characters again. Like I said, the clip that was released today with Jodie sort of going like, kind of doing like a David Tennant thing, like, "Oh, I'm on my own, I'm going to be," and then she's doing comedy, like, "Yeah, let's do it, let's go." So that was quite funny. It seems like a really scary episode. And as Adam said, it's like we're going to see sort of the sort of team be split in half with Doctor and Yaz and Ryan and Graham. Ryan and Graham was like doing some investigating, like some old house or something. I don't know. I think Yaz.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think Yaz and Jodie look like they're going around the lab, I believe. So it'd be interesting to see like them sort of working as like their little teams. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to actually get a sort of maybe a 2018 version of Plant the Spider. I wonder if they'll then get back to that. I don't know, but
all praise to the great one.
All praise, yeah, it's gonna be the Queen Spider. That would be hilarious. So yeah, no, that's next week. So that would be hopefully a good episode. But it's going to take a lot to beat this one. It really is. But again, that's written by Chris Chibnall on his own, and the next one also is Chris Chibnall on his own, which is quite. It would be nice to have some co-written and stuff. I don't know, like hopefully we won't sort of have sterile writing, but like I said, it just a show of how New Blood can really bring the episodes to life, you know. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to Writers in the UK, more than sort of seeing the characters again. But it will be a good episode, but again, it's going to take a lot to beat Rosa. So look at the comment section before we close this live stream out. If there are any final questions, let us know. Should have a look. So Isaac brings up a good point, actually. He says, if there's no recurring villains for Series 11, I feel they need to create better new villains so far. They've been pretty underwhelming. I kind of felt that with the Stenza. Like, if they were going to obviously in episode 2, obviously I don't know if that was just an episode 2 thing. It was quite cool they linked it back. But like, I agree with Isaac. I think if they brought them back, they need to show something more to prove they're more threatening as like a overarching villain. What do you
They
think?
could be. I was going to say they could be the Dalek from series 1, where you have one Dalek, you know, and you deal with that story, and then there's like millions of Stenzas, and then they come back all powerful and bad. That's because that Dalek was very much, it was caged up. It was, but then it kind of went on the loose, and we get to see what one Dalek could, what damage one Dalek can do. But then there was an almighty force. We was to know there was an almighty force at the end of series 1. But I guess like the Dalek was more threatening than I guess Tim Shaw or Tinsar. But you never know. It could be a thing of maybe, hopefully, I do hope they do, because, you know, I don't want to be a one-hit one. I do want to see more of them. Maybe if it's not this season, maybe next season. I don't really know.
Yeah, how the Doctor can fight an army, we don't know. But yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see what I'm quite interested to see what the final back half of the season is. Obviously episode 6 is up to that point, which looks really cool so far. But I'm interested to see what this back half of the season is. So there we go. Thank you everybody for watching tonight's live stream. It's great to see everybody comment. Thank you to Adam Mahuvian for joining me again for these awesome live stream reviews for Series 11. Is there anything my pleasure. Have you got anything to plug or anything you want to
Have I got anything to plug apart from my phone charger? All right, now that's done. Okay.
That's a good reminder.
I don't know if I have necessarily anything to plug, but I just want to say how much I'm absolutely enjoy being on here doing the live reviews. It's become a thing of I so enjoy it. I can't believe I'm having so much fun. Looking forward to watching the episode, seeing these characters, then going to see Jodie's mates, then going to see my mate, and we're going on the hangout and talk about it online with people, because I'm just so excited to talk about Doctor Who. Again, of course, and it feels it feels terrific, man. And I'm hoping this month, maybe around, might do like a Halloweeny video, but also I'm hoping to follow you up on my top 10 Doctor Who memories. I've got 10 down, and we shall see what makes number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 in that video. And then I'm hoping to do a Series 11 overview where I talk about each episode, because I did The Woman Who Fell to Earth, but I think, you know, I'll collate my thoughts as soon as the whole series airs, because that's always the best way to do it. And of course, if you want my individual thoughts, I'm on here, and I did just do one solo one for The Woman Who Fell to Earth, but I'm doing them here, and I might be doing them on the Whovian High Council, which I will tend to join as well. So there's all that. I'm on Twitter. I'm mad on Twitter, but if you follow me, that I hugely appreciate it. I have a lot of fun on there. Adam the Whovian. It's all really cool. We have great bands. So the great banter we have in the chat. Feel free to join Twitter, where there will be a chock-a-block of that.
Much more and craziness.
Guys, this is where you find the memes, man. This is where you find. This is where memes are born, especially that "Eat My Salad" Halloween. You know that, and all that stuff. So you know.
Yeah, that was peak. Good. That was peak me. and the bloody actor commented on the video. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that must have been like a starstruck moment for you this year. That must have blown everything else out of the water.
I should have planned my top 10 memories. No, we're interested, and that'd be really cool. But yeah, follow Adam on Twitter and the YouTube stuff for more good stuff. I think I'll also be doing a Series 11 overview once it's done. I think I'll probably give it a couple of weeks afterwards, just to sort of take one in. But it's nice to have a look. But obviously, we're doing these live streams, looking at each episode individually and extensively. But it's great to sort of give it a bit of time and look at the series like a whole thing, as opposed to like individual episodes. Obviously, we don't know the outcome yet, so it'll be quite interesting. I convinced me. Obviously, got my reactions and fan trailers. Going to keep doing these. Obviously, live stream. I've got an interesting video coming at the end of this week, possibly Friday or Saturday. Adam knows partially what this is, if you remember the photo.
Oh, all right, yes.
Yeah, that stuff. So I'm going to be doing a overview on those things. Trying to be as critical as possible. But yes,
Hashtag those things.
Hashtag those.
I'll get it trending. I'll get it trending.
Yeah. Yeah. Quickly, one question before we go. And the Machine says, "What is your favorite season premiere?" I don't honestly know. I thought the Women Olympics was a good contender.
Robot.
Robot. Yeah, that's it. Robot done.
I love Spearhead, but I also really like Robot. But I think it's mainly because that episode had such energy and Tom Baker was fantastic. I know we're probably talking new series openers, but I do look at openers in general, and I think that does stand out to me as well. Robot is where like I just can't stop grinning because you know, and Tom's my dog, so yeah.
I'd probably in new series I might go for the 11th hour only because I think it did so much, but then I have so much nostalgia for Rose, so but I don't know. They're all very good in their own individual ways. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have a good night and the rest of your week, whatever you're doing. Again, thank you for Adam for joining me. And
My pleasure.
My pleasure. And we'll see you on the next live stream, which would be Arachnids in the UK, which Adam is very excited to talk about. Super excited.
Indeed. Yes, it's going to be cool.
That's going to be good. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching the live stream, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.